This is TWiT.
Pretend for a moment that I am a gamer or non-gamer that has never heard of Sniper Elite 3. Is it the new something?
Sniper Elite, the Sniper Elite series is exactly what it sounds like. It is a game where you are primarily a sniper, and you also have some stealth mechanics and that kind of stuff as well. But you are primarily a sniper. You know what's interesting is that the thing that it's most well known for is its very graphic not descriptions, it's very graphic depictions of bullets going through people. Like you actually get like an X-ray view of the person as the bullet is going through them. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of
so they're
cool.
basically
it's just cartoonish enough to be funny rather than disgusting.
I'll take your word for it.
I understand. I totally understand.
Cue redness
this game's
here.
Yeah, this game's been out for a little bit, but the reason we wanted to look at performance of it this week was they released a patch to Mantle support in the game. So Mantle being AMD's kind of proprietary API, we wanted to see what kind of performance gains we got with that. So we ran through just a handful of tests. 2560 by 1440 as well as 4K with the two newest GPUs from NVIDIA and the two newest GPUs from AMD. So you got the GTX 980 and 970 and then our 290X and 290. I would say the general rule that what we came up with in the single GPU results is that in DX11 mode, GTX 980 is a little bit faster than the R9 290X, like 100 versus 105 frames per second, like that kind of small difference in performance, right? So that's okay. That's fine. But what happens is when we turned on the Mantle version for the AMD parts, it actually gave it enough of a performance boost to, again, just barely be faster than that NVIDIA part. So if you look on that result, you kind of see...
The Mantle's working. Barely.
Mantle is doing something, right? In this case, you're looking at about 7 to 8% performance on the 290X. On the R9 290, that performance scaling does go down a little bit at 4K. The benefit you get for Mantle is a little bit lower with 4K, which is kind of what we would expect. It's less CPU bound, more GPU bound, and that type of thing. So what Mantle has done in this game is given AMD a little bit of a victory, if you will. The downside is if you go to our SLI and Crossfire results, Mantle in this game does not have multi-GPU support. Remember that for Mantle, Crossfire needs to be implemented at the game engine level. It is not a driver level thing anymore. So it's up to the game developer to implement multi-GPU support.
We talked about this a bunch at CES where the idea was that the place that was probably going to benefit from this the most was like massive multiplayer games. So I'm curious that something that's relatively, I'm not going to say first person shootery, but chose to put Mantle in place. Did you expect more from Mantle, or is this just sort of a edge kind of case for it?
Not really. Like, keep in mind, we're only testing one processor and 4 different video cards, right? And what you'll see is, based on what I've seen AMD and the developer really talk about, is that if you look at lower end processors on lower end GPUs, you will see a little bit more scaling than what we saw with our higher end stuff. But to be fair, like the fact that we're seeing any scaling at all with the super high end stuff is actually really good news, right? It's actually that we're seeing something and it's positive and it's working. That's really good. It's just disappointing not to see Crossfire support in there, because if you're one of those people, the 4K screen, you're also likely to be one of those people that has multiple GPUs, and so that would be a place where you would actually want to see Mantle utilized. But it is fundamentally a much more difficult thing for a game developer to implement in Mantle than it is in DirectX for SLI or Crossfire, really. So
everything's harder.
Decent results nonetheless. It is. It's definitely true.